What's going on, everybody? It's me, Brandon, back again with another episode, and today we are talking about my time at Super Magfest. This was my second year going to Magfest, and I really enjoyed it. Last year was a little overwhelming, which I didn't understand really everything to do and what you can do, and this year I went into it a little bit easier. So Magfest, for those who don't know, it's a music and games festival, and it's 24 hours for like 4 days. It's insane, and there's an arcade room full of like really rare games and really cool, awesome games and random games that I've never seen a cabinet for that just blow me away. And then you have Artist Alley, like the vendors section where you can go ahead and buy really cool artwork and buy all these different stuff. There's retro video games, there's unique things, clothing and stuff as well. It's really cool. And then there is a console room where you can play pretty much anything. You can go ahead and play this past year I played Tekken 5, like the anniversary mode. So I played Tekken 5, but I was playing Tekken 3, and it was like 1 a.m. in the morning, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go to bed. There's a lot of cool stuff like that. There's always Smash tournaments, Street Fighter tournaments. Since it was Sonic themed this year, I'm actually wearing their like official like sweatshirt. They always create like a custom character. So this is like Sonic, but they can't do Sonic because of copyright and stuff. So they make their own characters, they make their own merch every year. Last year was Metroid Prime themed. This year was Sonic themed. So I did also cosplay as Silver the Hedgehog. Now, I haven't had a desire to cosplay in over 10 years. And when I heard that this was Sonic themed and I had like a week or two left right before the event, I was like, I don't care. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw together a really crappy, shitty Silver the Hedgehog cosplay. It was just sweatpants and sweatshirt and all this other stuff. I bought the silver hat. And it was fun. I liked it. It's just to also say that I cosplayed Silver the Hedgehog because I never would have expected I would ever do something like that. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, so let's get into the video. I'll talk about some of the things. I have some footage from this year and last year because last year I wanted to make a video, but I never had a chance. So we're going to go ahead and make this whole big video here. This intro is going on a little bit too long, but here we go. Let's talk about my time at Super Magfest. Alright, starting off with the arcade, which is my favorite room. We have a huge room full of games, and one game right there, Killer Queen, is the highlight of Magfest. That is an incredible game that unfortunately doesn't have any more support with like Killer Queen Black, which was a console home release, which I did pick up. You have a wonderful array of arcade games. We got Third Strike, we got Darkstalkers, got traditional Street Fighter games, you name it, it is available here. And I'm always just so fascinated to see everything when I walk through this arcade room. So look right there, we got a beautiful Vampire Survivors like marquee. They got pinball tables, you got a Royal Rumble wrestling table right there, which is really sick. You got Carnival. There's so many different things here, and it's a little overwhelming. There's like some crazy light game, which I was looking at. And that's like the craziest thing about Magfest is that there's so much to see. Marvel vs. Capcom we're looking at right there. You got Sonic Rumble. People were playing Street Fighter 6 earlier on that cabinet. I think they're playing Guilty Gear. And there's rhythm games all at the end, and people are cosplaying and everything's going nuts, and it's like this for literally 24 hours. It's crazy. So we got Street Fighter 2, and this is the rhythm games, and also some other stuff like a Gundam, like Super Smash Brothers, linked arcade cabinets. It's crazy, some of the stuff that's going on at Magfest. So a lot of the rhythm games are interesting, but I'm there for the traditional fighting cabinets and everything else available, like the racing ones too. And there was an incredible Virtual On arcade cabinet, which I wasn't able to play. As we go into the next room, this is where people can make their own custom games. They make their own cabinets and they can bring them here, and they're very unique styles and takes of video games. Like for instance, there's one game where you can go ahead and use a string of lights and use a joystick and try to control it. Some really cool, interesting stuff here. The big draw this year was that there was a Nightmare Cart cabinet, which if you're not aware, that was a Bloodborne cart game, and then famously Sony went ahead and shut that game down because of the inspiration on its sleeve and what it was called. So you have all these games you can go ahead and try out. Again, mostly these are all 24 hours. The Indie Retro was really cool, as we were seeing some like modern day brand new games for like a Dreamcast or something like that. And as we get further on up on this video, you start seeing some actual banners and posters of indie developers that bring their games to Magfest that we can go ahead and try out, wishlist on Steam. And there's a lot of really interesting games here. There were some games that caught my eye and some that I actually went ahead and wishlisted myself on Steam. As we can see in the distance there's an Angry Video Game Nerd standee, which I thought was really cool. And of course, one of the best things about cons is the vendor room. There's always so much to look at, especially in the first couple days. You're always looking around, trying to figure out what to buy, what I may get, what's interesting. There's so much here. There was like a whole manga section. There's beautiful artwork, as we can see here. That dude has an amazing Resident Evil 3 Nemesis sweatshirt. And there's just so much cool stuff here. The art was incredible. And this year I was actually able to find a fight stick, which is something I was hoping for last year, but this one really took me by surprise. This is also another section that I really love at Magfest. This is the console room. There's so much going on here. You can play all these different systems. We got Primal Rage going on right there. Right here where everybody's sitting, this is like a Magfest challenge. They got different challenges for different games and you can go ahead and take them on. And this was like the Genesis section. So as you see, we got Lion King, got some Sonic Spinball going on. I believe that's Golden Axe right there. And as we go ahead and move further throughout the room, you see different generations of consoles and systems. So here we are with the PlayStation 4. Some people going ahead playing Soul Calibur 6, as I saw. Some people playing Madden, Diablo. And there's a Rock Band section, so that's what I'm walking by on my left here. Everybody's going ahead. You get the full band. Everybody's singing, dancing, doing all of it. And again, this is all the time, 24 hours, crazy, non-stop, if you really want to go ahead and have this consume you. The Chow Garden's being played because it's Sonic themed again, so people are having fun. This is like a bring your own rhythm game. This gentleman here is playing like a Hatsune Miku PS3 game with a custom controller. I actually stopped to watch this for a little bit. That's Sonic Riders, I believe Zero Gravity. That was on the Wii. That was really cool to see. But as you walk through, you see all these different areas. Right here, where this like cube is and this gentleman's standing, this is where Sonic Fox was challenging other players in Mortal Kombat 1. I got to watch that for a little bit. Farther down, there was a Street Fighter 6 tournament that I watched a couple times. And I actually asked the gentleman about like preferred fight sticks and stuff, which is really cool. And right here is a big Smash Brothers section where they play Smash Ultimate and Melee. I didn't really spend too much time over here, but it is a very cool section for sure. So one of the coolest rooms of Magfest is the LAN room, where people can bring their own PCs and showcase their builds. And there's also public PCs where you're allowed to sign into your own Steam and play, various games of whatever you'd like. So I played Balatro and Marvel Rivals early in the morning. There was a really cool Lethal build last year, which I thought was really cool. There's a Final Fantasy themed build, which I'm showing right here with a cool cloud silhouette. And then there was the Companion Cube, which I just thought was perfect. I must say my favorite thing was this amazing Yoko Littner PC build. This is a full-blown PC designed after Yoko from my favorite anime, Gurren Lagann. I thought this thing was crazy, and somebody mentioned it ahead, and I didn't even put it together until they were like, oh yeah, it's Yoko's gun, and I'm like, holy shit, this is insane. Even the keyboard is like a little knife or a butcher's knife. I thought it was so cool. very unique build, and just something crazy I never expected to ever see. And with all that being said, that is a small sliver of what you can do at Magfest. And there's panels you can attend to. Sometimes there's celebrities. Last year I actually got to meet Marty O'Donnell and have him sign my original copy of Halo, and I thought that was so surreal. And there's all these different things available. There's video game tournaments, there's the 24 hours of gaming, you can get a tattoo if you'd like, there's, you know, indie games you can go ahead and test. You can go challenge somebody in Soul Calibur 2 on an arcade cabinet if you want to. You can play pinball, you can host a tournament of your favorite games. There's so much going on at Magfest. And it is overwhelming, but it's very cool. You can move at your own pace, or you can move at the pace of whatever events you want to go see, the people you want to meet, all of that stuff. So even this year, like I said, I cosplayed Silver the Hedgehog. I haven't had an urge in my body to do another cosplay, but you know what? It was Sonic themed. I'm coming off the hype of Shadow Generations and Sonic 3. I'm going to cosplay the greatest hedgehog, Silver the Hedgehog. And I think I did a pretty okay job. But that is my time at Super Magfest. It's a really cool convention, and it is definitely something I am looking forward to. I'm very curious to see what the theme will be for next year, but this was a small sliver of what I did at Super Magfest. And that's it for this episode today. I really hope you enjoyed it. Super Magfest is a really cool event, and next year I'm very curious to see what the event is, or at least next year it would be really interesting to see what they do. Super Magfest was Sonic themed. Magfest Prime, which was my first, which was last year, was really interesting, and I'm always looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen. What's the cool things I can buy? What are the cool arcade cabinets? Anything cool gonna happen? Like, we also saw like Power Glove, which was crazy, and you know, you never know what to expect. So I wanted to make a video last year, but last year was like a scrambled mess at the start of the year, so I wasn't able to go ahead and make a video. So this year I'm making one. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments down below what you thought about Silver the Hedgehog. That's it. Do you really like that? Do you really like the hedgehog like I do? I think he's a really cool character. Underutilized, untapped potential, some would say. So that is it. Please let me know in the comments down below. And as always, my name is Brendan, and I will see you all next time.